Peace everyone, Unmask here, and welcome back to the Drawing Journal. Alright, so as you can tell from the title, or maybe you'll be able to tell from the title, that this past week I got married to my beautiful fiance. Here's a look at my wedding band real quick. So it was a very simple wedding. We had her mom and my friend Jose flew out from Japan or somewhere. He was traveling around the world at the time, so he happened to be able to catch it. It was like the stars aligned for him to be able to come. And then we came back and had just a ton of food. I don't even know. It was just somewhat of an overwhelming experience. It was just perfect the way that it went, and we're both very happy to have finally had everything organized enough and getting permission to get married for me as a U.S. citizen here in Poland. There was some obstacles, but we finally got everything situated and finally made it happen. So that's what happened this past week, and I couldn't be more excited and more happy about it. So one of the things I wanted to share before starting on this drawing did that I was working on last week was to share this collaboration piece that I did with Claire from Black Summer Coloring. Many of you probably seen the video. It went up last Tuesday, but I just wanted to share it on the drawing journal really quick and show it off. Zoom in a little bit so you can get a better picture of it. It was a real challenge to do, and it was so much fun. I love doing this collaboration with other artists. It's definitely one of my favorite things to do here on my channel. I am a bit tired, as you can imagine. There was a lot of planning this past week to get everything set up for the wedding, so uh, I'm still a little bit tired from the weekend. So after the wedding, before I get in too much, I'm going to start working on this again. I'm still inking it, as you can see, but I did get all the base inking done for the character. Now I'm going to go through and do the more detailed stuff. But that's pretty much what I have planned here. Nothing too heavy for this week's drawing journal. I have a lot of stuff that I need to get done this week. Tomorrow there will be another Coffee with Friends collaboration, and I'm super excited for it because it's going to be a digital collaboration. It's going to be the first digital drawing that I've done, so I'm quite excited for it. But with that said, so the wedding was this past Saturday, and it was at 12 o'clock, and my friend Jose, he was flying in Friday. That's what his scheduled flight was. However, he ended up not making it until Saturday morning, really early Saturday morning. And the issue was that he was flying from Warsaw to Katowice, and the weather was so bad that couldn't he couldn't land. The plane couldn't land, so he had to go back to Warsaw. Oh, greetings, Coffee Cat. Thanks for joining the chat, and thank you very much for the congratulations. Um, so he had to go back to Warsaw, and then he only got like an hour of sleep, and he had to fly into Krakow and take a taxi up to the Katowice airport to pick up his rental car. And then once he picked up his rental car, he had another 50-minute drive to get to the courthouse. And he, like I mentioned, the wedding was at 12, and he got there at like 11:50. I was standing outside, and it was like last minute, so it barely happened. But I mean, it barely happened that he was going to be in Poland at the time anyway, because he was traveling around. He left the US and headed to Japan for a few days, and then from there he went to Russia for a bit, and then he came over to what is that country called? I can't even remember. Budapest. He went there. What is that? Romania. He spent like a day there, and then he came down to Poland from that point, and so he was well traveled by the time he got here, and he messaged me a few weeks ago and asked me what I would be doing around February 3rd time frame, and it just so happened that a day before I had planned the wedding for that date and officially got Anna and I officially got our marriage license. And so I told him, and he put in the extra effort to get here in time. And I'm very grateful. After the wedding, like I mentioned, we came home and we had a ton of food made that we cooked pretty much into the night, Friday evening. Especially my lovely wife. She was very dedicated, and her very generous mother. And so we definitely ate good that day. We'll be eating good for the next couple days because there's so much food left over. And then Sunday we went to Krakow, and I gave Jose the insider tour of the city. We walked around Old Town, and I showed him some of the old churches there. We walked through Wawel Castle and took pictures, and I do have a video of the wedding that's going to be coming out. I can't imagine that it's going to be coming out this week because I have so much work to catch up on. I was half tempted to not live stream today because of how busy this week is going to be. I have a commission that I have to start. I have another live stream for Patreon supporters this week to do. Thursday, I have to get ready for my trip to London. I'm leaving Friday for that, and I'll be gone for about 4 days. At least I think it's Friday. It could be Thursday. I'm so lost at this point with it. Greetings, Oliver. Thanks for coming in to the live chat. And I'll be in London for the weekend. So if there's anybody in the area that would like to meet up and have a cup of tea or something like that, let me know. I'd be happy to meet you. You can email me or send me a message on Facebook or whatever. I don't have any plans whatsoever in London. I'll be by myself, so it won't be the most enjoyable trip. Let's see what else. So, yes, the collaboration tomorrow, be on the lookout for that. I spent all morning so far editing, working that video out, and getting it prepared. I would have done it over the weekend, but obviously there was other events happening that kept me busy. So this past weekend was like the first weekend I honestly didn't work at all. Aside from editing a few photos from the wedding and then sharing them on Facebook and announcing our marriage, because actually nobody in my family had any idea that I was getting married this weekend. I kept it a secret only for a couple weeks while I finished finalizing everything and getting everything set up. And that was just kind of that was just a way to make it a surprise for everybody. I I didn't want to announce like to everybody that I was getting married on this date because I didn't want anybody to feel like they didn't have a chance to come, or I didn't want them to come or care if they didn't come. The truth is, we didn't have a lot of time to plan. Uh, we did it quite quickly in terms of planning it once we were allowed to. It's been a long process to be allowed to get married, but uh, I was leaving for London before we had the date, so it was all kind of it was all very quickly, but not by design. It was really just no other option. I guess that's what you have to kind of deal with when you get married abroad as a U.S. citizen. You don't have that. You don't have the luxury of planning it all out and giving everybody invitations. But you should have seen. Well, you can kind of see my wife in the thumbnail. She was so beautiful on Friday or on Saturday when we got married. She made a very beautiful bride. I didn't I didn't have this I didn't have this live stream planned at all. I like I said, I was kind of behind, so still just working on this drawing and trying to finish up the inking. I was going to do this. I was going to do this inking offline and just kind of finish it up and hopefully start working on page 2 of my coloring book, since this is page 1. And I got enough of it done in last week's live stream to just give you a good idea of what it looks like. And some of the detail inking can be, well, it can be very time consuming, can be kind of boring to watch because I'm moving so slowly. But I have to be honest, it's a lot easier to carry on a conversation and talk about things when doing this kind of inking because it doesn't take a lot of my attention, I suppose. It's a nice, slow, calming process. Anyways, I hope everybody that's listening, that's watching, had a nice weekend. I know that there was the Super Bowl yesterday in the United States, and of course that's all over YouTube and people crying on Facebook about what team lost and what team won. I didn't I didn't even know who was even playing in the Super Bowl this year until I woke up this morning and saw that it played yesterday. As you can guess, I'm not exactly a sports fan. Never really have been into sports. Always kind of it always kind of bothered me the amount of attention that people give to sports, especially to to teams they have nothing to do with, but make all kinds of claims about it being their team, like they own it or something. It always kind of bothered me too how well people would be able to riddle off the stats and names and numbers of players, but they'd still eat at places like McDonald's. It was just, I don't know, it's just something that's always kind of bothered me. Let's see here. So a lot of the detail inking that I do for my characters is kind of reinforcing some sense of light, but it's very subtle because I keep my lines fairly thin. But as you can see, I'm building building the lines around my character here to help her stand out from the background. And I haven't done any of the inking for the background yet, but I will very soon. I probably won't get to it in this video because I have to prepare for my trip to London. So this drawing journal will most likely be a bit shorter than my previous ones. And as you can see, I started streaming this one a little bit later in my day. It's about a little past 1500 right now. It's not the normal time that I would do the live stream of my drawing journal. I would kind of start it in the morning, but I was working all morning on editing my next collaboration video. Actually, 2 collaboration videos. I'll have another one this Saturday. It will be a painting collaboration with a few artists here on YouTube. We all got together and decided to do another 10-minute painting challenge, but this time we did it more as a collaboration together where we all painted in the same theme. It was a very fun project. I actually recorded my video on Friday while my wife was still at work, and I was supposed to be cleaning the house, but instead painting, recording a video, making a huge mess. But it was a lot of fun. So I look forward to people seeing that video this Saturday, which is a very different time than I would normally upload videos, but that's just the way some collaborations go. I wasn't really in a position to dictate when video went live, so whatever they said, whatever I agreed to. Trying to think of what else I have planned. So Wednesday I'm going to do a tutorial for my Patreon supporters, and I'm going to start the series that I've had planned. I've had this kind of series of tutorials planned for about 2 months now, and it's going to be on coloring hair with colored pencils. And I have already fully implemented the technique that I developed for this tutorial, and I'm very excited about it because this technique makes coloring hair with colored pencils so simplistic and so easy that I think that if you're struggling with coloring hair, this tutorial alone would be worth supporting me on Patreon. And I'm going to be doing a series of these tutorials for the next 4 to 5 weeks, coloring all different colors of hair, including rainbow hair. That's where I'm going to finish the series with, is rainbow hair. And it's just going to be using the same technique over and over again, but with different colors and generally the same method, just to emphasize the simplicity of it. I'll thank you very much for the congratulations. Yes, I think next Monday I will probably be closer to being rested. Depends, because I'll get back, I think I actually get back Sunday evening, maybe. I have to look at my itinerary again. But next week's drawing journal should be quite a bit earlier in my morning, because that's when I would like to do it. For the most part, that's the time that I prefer to do it, because it allows me to work without a schedule after the live stream is over. So if I live stream at 9 o'clock in the morning and get done at 12, well, then I have all day to just work on the rest of the things that I need to do without worrying about the time I need to stop in order to set up for the live stream. So if I work before the live stream, I'm always very conscious of what time it is, so that I give myself a chance to set up for the live stream, if that makes any sense. So this character is starting to pop off the page a little bit more. Let's see. One of the other things, another unfortunate event that has occurred this morning, that my drawing table here decided to break. And so right now I'm drawing and my table is flat, not normally flat. I can raise it up, like up to 60 or 70 degrees or something like that. But for some reason it decided to break. So I have to draw flat, which I absolutely despise doing. It's so uncomfortable. And that's probably another reason this live stream is going to be a bit shorter, because I have to draw uncomfortably, which is always something I would rather not do for an extended period of time. I'm gonna have to find a way to fix my table. It will be pretty simple to fix. However, I don't necessarily have tools at my disposal to fix it the way that I would really like to. But I'll have to fix it today, because I have so much work to do this week, and there's just no way that I would be able to sit here and draw on a flat desk. When you make the switch to drawing on a raised surface from always drawing on a flat surface, it can be a little unsettling and difficult. But once you get used to it, you'll realize just how much more comfortable it is. And you'll never want to go back, which is exactly what happened to me. Now I'm stuck drawing on a flat surface, and it feels awkward, it feels weird, and it's uncomfortable. Trying to keep the camera zoomed in and positioned well so that you can get the most out of the drawing here. I'm thinking about making a kind of a song playlist for my live streams, where it would quietly play music in the background, just to help those moments of silence that I often have because I have to think about what to say next. You guys have any questions that you'd like to ask me? I was trying to think about what I was going to talk about aside from my wedding this past weekend. And I feel like I've covered most of it, of what I thought about talking about. But there was one thing I was considering, and that was kind of the story behind meeting my wife, and I've shared a lot of that throughout the years on my YouTube channel, especially in the drawing journals. Perhaps not extremely detailed or anything, but I've certainly bragged about the parts I enjoy most about the way we met and how our relationship grew to what it is today. I mean, she is a huge aspect to the existence of my channel. The fact that I've continued and continue to make videos, it has a lot to do with how well she has supported me doing this full time, and her support has always been unwavering. I've never once felt like maybe it's time to hang up my YouTube hat and use my degree in math for a job that I can make real money at. It's been a very slow process building my YouTube channel, and I'm right on the edge of being successful enough for my YouTube channel to be a sustainable support system. And even though I've kind of been on that fence for a long time, as far as my YouTube channel being my primary source of income indefinitely, he's always been the one person that I've constantly had support from unwaveringly. I've never felt like I had to quit. But sometimes I still think it would be best to go back to a job where I have that steady income. And how much happier am I doing art than in a position like that? I don't necessarily consider myself a person with the most agreeable personality in a work environment, because I seem to always get unlucky with the people I have to work for, get to be in charge of me, but they're not the kind of people I want to be in charge of me, or they're just annoying. The chat is a bit quiet today. Maybe I should have scheduled out my live stream last week so that more people knew about it. Or maybe it's just the time of day. My live streams up to this point have been extremely successful as far as bringing people in and having a lively chat. But I don't mind at all. Yeah. as much as I focus on my drawing, the less I have a chance to pay attention to the chat, but goodness, I feel like my lines are just terrible. Yes, I have considered streaming on Twitch. It seems to be very beneficial to a lot of people. However, the one, I guess, I don't know. I suppose the one reason that I don't is so used to YouTube platform, and YouTube has just recently sent out updates for live streaming that are directly comparable to Twitch. One of the things Twitch does is they have that, that tip jar, the chats, where you can make a donation to the person live streaming while they're live streaming, and it will kind of put your chat, it will put your message up on the chat board, and it will pin it there, and it will tell the creator that you tip to them. So now YouTube has that. So anybody that wanted to do that can do that now on YouTube. So the benefits of going over to Twitch has kind of went away in regards to making extra money, because now you can do everything on YouTube that you do on Twitch. Also have the benefit on YouTube as far as having your live streams indefinitely saved onto your channel, whereas when you live stream on Twitch, it is not saved. So people that miss it, they aren't able to go back and watch it. I think that if I do ever live stream on Twitch, it will probably be when I'm bored and I just feel like live streaming. I have extra time to just set up and start drawing and hanging out with people. And it would similarly be a drawing journal. Essentially, it would be a drawing journal without the title, and I would just stream, draw, and anybody that wanted to like come in with the chats and just hang out, I'd probably do that. But as of right now, don't have the intention of doing it, because I just don't have any extra time to do extra live streams. I hope that I can get there eventually, but currently I feel so far away from that right now. But I would really like to. Yes, you're absolutely right. I hope that the chat tip jar thing gets popular and helps people. The thing, my channel is growing quite well, and I'm very happy about that. And I look forward to where I get in this next year. I should hit over 12,000 subscribers by the end of this year, which I'm very excited about. I hope that I surpass that in many ways. If I can just get lucky enough to upload a video that for some reason people enjoy more than the past 320 videos that I've posted. And kind of goes mini viral. That would be a very good thing to happen to my channel. That's what it takes. I've been looking at some of the channels that have been growing, the art channels that have been growing very fast this past year. And one of the things that I always do is I look at their video archive list, and I go through all their videos and I look at what video did it for them. I look at what video it was that went mini viral for them to slingshot their channel from as low as 2,000 subscribers to 20,000 in just a matter of a week. Because that's what I see a lot of the times. I see the channels that go from having very few subscribers to having tens of thousands. It's always the same thing over and over again. It's always they have that one video that just gets really popular for them. After they post it, the right person shares it, and they just goes all over the internet, and a million people watch it in a week. Right now, it is 3:34 in the afternoon here in Poland. To answer your question as to what time it is. Alright, so I think I'm going to start working on some of these background. Lots of pillows on the bed here. I don't know if you can tell what this scene is because it's so lightly drawn in with pencils. But there's a bed, a nightstand with a flower pot, a book, a lamp over here. There's a couple pictures, and there's some blinds, some window blinds over here, or some curtains. I want to try to keep these details here in the back as kind of just not very dominant. I don't want these to show through too much. I don't want them to stand out as much as I want her to stand out. I'll probably do more. I'll probably do another outline of her in the end to really bring her forward, even if I have to do a really thick line around her. So this is kind of a striped pillow here. I probably should have used my thinner pen so that the lines aren't so bold, because they're a bit bolder than I want them to be. They're just about the same thickness as the outline of the character, which is precisely what I want to avoid, because otherwise the details will start to bleed together too much, and it will just kind of look like a big mess of lines. do this pillow here. This one is a bit closer. It's actually a pillow interacting with the character. Character kind of being a maid. The story is that she dropped this pillow, and that's the purpose of her expression, as exaggerated as her expression is for just simply dropping a pillow. Yes, so that. And I still have some sketching to do on the pillow as far as the design, so I'm not going to go any farther than that with that. I'm going to start doing the blanket here. Getting this corner of wrinkles in it, and the blanket kind of comes out right here, over here. There's some folds that come down here, like. It's so nice to see this picture coming to life from what it started out as just a sketch on my computer. And it's been so long since I've actually worked on this drawing that I almost completely forgot about it. So there's another fold to the blanket that's actually coming down right here. Get that. Hello, Annabella. Thanks for coming by and joining the live stream. I have my little ruler here. I probably I'll do the edge of the bed. I'll do the edge of the bed down here. Well, maybe. I don't think this ruler's long enough. Yeah, it's not long enough. But it is long enough to do the table. So I'll try to do the table, and I'll finish up some of this bedding. Kind of, it's just the lines that imply the kind of bunching of the comforters and blankets and whatnot, so it's not very difficult to do. I had some designs there, but I think what I'll do is I'll pencil them in first. I don't want to go crazy with the pen and not be able to fix it. So those lines are meant to be straight, so I don't have my other ruler with me right this second, so I don't want to do those free-handed and with a too short of ruler. So I'll do some of the lines for the curtains here, because doing them free-handed gives it the glow, the curtain wrinkles, so I don't mind to do those. Yes, it's very nice that you're able to catch a live stream. I do my live streams kind of at different times to help accommodate everybody. that wants to join in. So I'm glad that you were able to catch up and do one. Let's see here. So I have another blanket fold here. So since you and probably one or two other individuals showed up to the live stream a bit later, to give you some context to the title of the live stream, I got married this past weekend, and so at the beginning of the live stream, I kind of went through everything as far as the wedding and how it went. And the wedding went well. It was very nice, and I had a great weekend celebrating with my friend Jose, who came from Japan and then through Russia and to the country whose name I forget again. Why do I keep forgetting it? I just mentioned it at the beginning, but he was on his way around the world again, and he messaged me and asked if I would be available if he came through Poland, and of course was, and I told him I was getting married, and he showed up for my wedding, which was so nice. It was so great to have a friend here for the special occasion. Yes, so that's the title of that's the purpose of the title for this live stream, for those of you that were a bit later into it. Thank you so much, Eddie, for coming by, and congratulations. I appreciate that. Let's see. I think what I'll do is I'll finish up this lamp, and then I'll go over here to the table. I'll finish up the table, and I think I might call it a day. I haven't been streaming very long, which is a bit out of character. I really enjoy doing the live streams and hanging out and drawing with everybody. But like I said, I'm a bit tired. It was a very, very eventful weekend. It was a very busy morning for me as well. A lot of work this morning. I don't know. We'll see how I feel after I finish this lamp and table. Maybe I'll do more. Not quite sure. I kind of feel like I might be running out of things to talk about a little bit. Yeah, but you'll be noticing a new addition to my everyday recording gear from now on. So. And I'm thinking that if not next week, then certainly soon. I would like to have my fiance on one of the live streams. If it's just to say hello or whatnot, I think that it would be very fun to maybe do a Q&A with the two of us. I don't know. It's an idea that I've thought about a couple times now. Now you guys would really have to convince her to get on the live stream with me. So I'm not going to be able to do that by myself. I'd probably be able to get pretty close to convincing her to get on the live stream, but you're gonna have to help me out a little bit on that one. Oh, thank you very much, Wilhelm, for the congratulations. So you asked an interesting question. What's the differences in the marriages here in Poland? Well, to be honest with you, there's not a whole lot of differences because a lot of the marriage traditions that America has came from Europe. And then, of course, the extravagant weddings is something that America is known for, spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for a wedding dress and tens of thousands of dollars for rings and uh, all that stereotypical wedding stuff. It, they do that kind of stuff here in Poland as well. They spend a lot of money on dresses. They spend a lot of money on you know, the planning and all that stuff. But for me, my wedding, our wedding, was very. It was extravagant for us, and that's all that really matters. We didn't go out and spend money we don't have on things. We got her a dress. We got me a suit. You know, she had flowers. Got her hair done. Got her hair done a lot actually. But we did not spend a lot of money on our wedding. We're both proud of that because it was a wedding that it was the wedding that we wanted. We didn't leave anything out just because we're not super rich or anything like that. We just had two guests, three if you include the translator, but she was late because she forgot it was our wedding. But I will have the video of our wedding soon. So like I mentioned in the beginning of the live stream, I have the wedding video. I recorded it myself. I set up my camera on a tripod, and then my friend Jose, he helped operate the camera. I haven't went through the video in its entirety. Um, I haven't checked the audio to make sure that you can hear everything. But I would say maybe the more obvious difference between marriage here compared to a marriage in the United States is the significance of the contract. So in the United States, a lot of people have this perception that somehow marriage is a very religious thing. It doesn't really have anything to do with state. But worldwide, marriage is still just a legal contract that binds two parties together. And the only thing that makes a wedding religious is whether or not the individuals make it religious. But even though Poland is very Catholic, the ceremony is the most important aspect of the ceremony is the promise behind the contract. And it's a literal signing of a contract. You'll see that in the wedding video when I post that on my channel. And one of the I have to mention this thing. One of the really cool things about getting married in Poland is the if you make it to 50 years. So if you make it to 50 years of marriage, the Polish president gives you an award for 50 years of marriage. So I look forward to getting that award because I know we're both going to live for 50 more years. The real question is, what do we get for 100 years of marriage? Because that's how long I plan on. That's how long I plan on living. 128. That's what I want to do. 128 years of marriage, or of living with 100 years of marriage. I think that would be quite an award to get. But that was one of the things that I learned about when we were getting our marriage license. The clerk that issues the license, the director, I think they call him the director, but he was telling us that 50 years of marriage, the president presents you with like a medal or trophy or something. I think it's oh yes, the translator was a bit rude throughout the entire process because at the wedding was not the only time we needed to hire her as a translator. She had to translate all of my American documents into Polish while I was while we were applying for our marriage license. So we had to deal with her for the past 5 or 6 months. And she was a bit of a handful, to say the least. She was pretty rude in some instances, and I don't know if it was her intention or it was just her kind of English. Because I can say that there were occasions early on in Anna's and I relationship where there was kind of this sensation that she was being rude, but what it really was just kind of the language barrier. And you get this a lot with people that speak English as a second language. You kind of get this false sensation that they're being rude because they speak their English much more direct. And I think it's just kind of a quality of it being their second language as opposed to them. Because I couldn't ever imagine my wife being rude to anybody. She's the sweetest person I've ever met in my entire life. But the translator, she just some of the things that she would say it made me scratch my head and question whether or not she was being rude or her English was just that bad. She always just seemed to have kind of this vibe about her that made me think that she didn't care at all, or that she didn't want Anna and I getting married. It just felt like that way sometimes. But if that's the case, then she failed to keep us from getting married. So I have no worries there anymore. Yeah, I think everywhere in the world should give you a medal if you make it to 50-year anniversary. That's yeah. I don't I've been with Anna. I'm gonna get in so much trouble if I get this wrong. I've been with Anna coming up on 3 years now. It's 2017. Last year, let's see, last year I moved here. Uh, 6 months before that, it was 2015, which was the first time that I visited here. Oh goodness, I'm really bad with periods of time. Trying to think back, but I do know that we're coming up on 3 years uh, in August 2014. Started talking, which just seems so long ago. Not in a bad way, though. Not in a bad way. It's been nice getting all the congratulations and all that stuff from people. It was a pretty big shock to a lot of my friends and family on Facebook because I didn't mention it. I didn't tell anybody. I mean, people knew that we were engaged. There was no secret there, but uh, the actual the wedding itself was definitely a big secret. It was, oh goodness, it was such a lovely experience. It was stressful though. There was still stress involved trying to get everything prepared and ready and stuff like that. It wasn't was there was no fairy tale involved, which any adult knows that a wedding is far from a fairy tale. It's work to plan it if you do it by yourself. I have to give credit where credit is due, and Anna did Anna did a tremendous amount of work to make all this happen. Because because I don't speak Polish, and of course all the documents and everything that was necessary to make the wedding happen required a an ability to speak Polish. There was just nothing that I could do to help, which was painful at times because uh, she had to do so much in regards to not only planning but you know um, filling out the paperwork and figuring out how to do this. So it's not like she was an expert on getting married or anything like that. Um, she knew just as much as I did about getting married. So it took a lot of time to kind of figure out what we had to do, and there's so much paperwork involved, and we worked really hard to get everything set up. Did an amazing job. Very grateful. So as you can see, I finished the table, I finished the book, lamp. Now I'm just still drawing. So do I find it difficult not being able to speak Polish? To be honest with you, I do not. I don't find it difficult not speaking Polish. There's plenty of people that speak English, so if there is, like, I've never had an issue with not speaking Polish, unless you include having issues with communicating with everyday people that you just kind of like run into. So if somebody asks you for directions or something like that, obviously I can't do that in Polish. But if somebody asks me what time it is, I can show them cell phone and they'll know. Or trying to think of what other instances that my limited Polish helped me through. And I mean, on a daily basis, if I go to the store or something like that, there's never really a lot of exchange between yourself and that work, the cashier. So just being able to say hello and bye and thank you is usually enough to get you through a day of shopping. But Anna's mom and now my mother-in-law, she does not speak any English at all. In fact, she speaks less English. I do Polish, which I barely know 10 words of Polish, which is disgraceful considering I lived in for an entire year. Almost, not quite a year. But so it would be nice to be able to have a conversation with my mother-in-law. We do communicate. There is communication there because I understand about 60% of spoken Polish. Gained a lot of listening experience sitting down and listening to them talk to each other. So I have that benefit. But there's no conversation there yet. I definitely intend there to be a conversation. Sure. I'm sure she would love to have a conversation with me. My mother-in-law absolutely adores me. So no doubt in my mind that she would be thrilled to have a conversation with me once I pick up the language a bit. So, since my wife speaks fluent English, there are still communication complications with my wife, and we recognize those. In fact, when we first started dating, our communication differences is the first thing that we recognized. We recognized it immediately, and we always tell ourselves to be slow to anger because or frustration, because there are communication barriers that we still have to break down, but I think that we do a really good job at it, because there's instances, and it still happens rarely, but it still happens where we kind of get into an argument based on most likely it's something that I say in English that she does. She misinterprets the true meaning, kind of not necessarily sarcasm, she can usually pick up on my sarcasm pretty well, but there's instances where I'm joking when I say something, but if you take what I'm saying seriously, it can be kind of offensive, or it might come off as being mean. And so there's instances where we have those issues, but we work through them pretty much ideally as possible, and I am very conscious of it. But there's always those slip-ups where it doesn't work out as ideally as we'd hope with communicating, and we kind of get into those mild arguments or whatnot. Just like any relationship. We identified that issue within the first 2 weeks of being in a relationship together. So we work through them. Have amazing communication skills, partly due to the fact that still, even at this point, 60% or even 70% of our relationship has been purely online. The first 2 years, pretty much, our relationship was 100% online. So we only had our communication skills in order to fall in love, and that's what we did. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the conversation will, you know, uh, slowly. It's not like one day I'm gonna sit down and just have a full conversation. I would hide that. I would have to hide the fact that I'm learning Polish for a very long time in order to just do something that crazy. Although it would be kind of a fun uh, would be kind of a fun kind of prank, I suppose, to learn Polish in the background for like 2 years or 3 years or whatnot, and never really practice or give it away to my mother-in-law, and then just one day sit at the table and just fluently start speaking Polish and having a conversation. It would almost be worth the expression on her face, but um, I, I don't think she'd be too happy once she found out that the entire time I was listening, I understood and all that. But it would be kind of funny. I have some audio tools on my computer now that instead of listening to music or listening to audiobooks while I'm drawing, obviously not during the live streams, but when I'm recording other videos and such, I think that I'll start listening to just Polish phrases and training and things like that, just to help build my vocabulary a bit and get used to all that simple stuff, all the stuff. Yeah, I agree. It would be pretty funny, but I think I'd pay more for it in the end. If I if I tried to do something like that, I think I'd upset a few people. And the people I don't want to upset, but it would be kind of funny. I guarantee you, if I did do something like that, and uh, I like documented it, I kind of made a of each week or each month for the next 3 years, I kind of documented my process and my progression with Polish. And then I recorded the first conversation, or the surprise conversation that I have with my mother-in-law. That video would be a pretty good video to have on my channel, even though it has nothing to do with art, which would be depressing, because I would prefer one of my art videos to go viral instead of a prank I play on my mother-in-law. You guys, you gotta stop encouraging me to do it. I'm gonna end up doing it for real. You're a bad influence on me. Knock it off. I'm gonna have to stop live streaming, making me come up with all these bad ideas. Of course, it's not gonna be too much of a surprise, because my wife, I have to get used to saying my wife on my live streams instead of my fiance. It's so different. It's a good different, but she's gonna watch this live stream, so I'm gonna get in trouble. So knock it off. You're gonna get me in trouble. Honestly, once she does watch this live stream, she hears me saying this, she's probably laughing right now. And now she's gonna pause the video, come into the studio bedroom area, and tell me that she loves me, and then kiss me. Because she's gonna laugh at everything that I'm saying that she's going to do right now. Okay, for real this time though, I think that, so I have kind of the bed to do, like the bed frame, this last pillow here, and then a couple picture frames in the back after these flowers. And I for real, I think I might be done live streaming after that point. I've actually, my wife will be home soon. In fact, I always put my phone over there so that it doesn't interrupt the live stream. So she probably texted me to say something, like she's on her way home or something, because she actually got off work 15 minutes ago. So she could be home anytime. And if you know what, if she does come home, I'm going to tell her to come join the live stream and say hi to everybody. But she'll make a bit of noise coming through the door. She unlocks it and busts open and asks me what I'm doing, why I'm not texting her back. Only a few more hours to all here. I don't even know what these flowers are. They're just squiggly lines, to be honest with you. Squiggly lines, a couple circles, and a few dots. That's what they are. Very simple, delicate flowers. want to thank everybody that came to the live stream, hung out. It was very nice to just relax and draw for a bit. I was, like I said, I almost didn't even do the live stream because I was so tired today, but I'm glad that I toughed it out and decided to go ahead and do it because it's been fun for sure. Really appreciate everybody that came by to say congratulations and hang out and also give me really bad ideas about playing tricks on my mother-in-law, my Polish. Shamed. Very sweetly. Almost done with the flowers. Go. I'm gonna switch. Here I'll zoom in, or actually I'm zoomed in all the way for the flowers, but I know it always gets really dark when I take it out of the light, but flowers, they're very simple flowers, nothing too fancy. Like I said, I don't want to detract all the attention to my character. Sure. This one striped pillow to do. Oops. Do these lines here. These striped lines. I think I might actually go ahead and call it a day after this pillow here. I don't know how long it will be before Anna actually gets home. It's always different because sometimes she works a little bit fast. Very dedicated worker, and I'm sure people at work have been bugging her all day about how the wedding was and all that stuff and why they weren't invited. Honestly, that's I look forward to hearing all about it when she gets home. But I'm sure she'll be tired when she gets. Maybe we'll do. Maybe we'll plan, a live stream when she has a day off or something like that. I think that would probably be the best possible scenario, especially in regards to catching her when she's in a good mood, not tired. Not that, oh God, that sounded so bad. It's not like she's always tired and bad moods. It's just when she's more relaxed and not having to come home from work. Backpedal there a little bit. Okay, so I'm still doing the bed frame. Just some lines. Yeah, that pretty much does it. I still have a lot of decorations to do on the bed and things like that. But I'll do that another time. I'm hoping I'm hoping that next week I can work on a different picture. Not because I hate this picture, but because it should be done. Should have been done a long time ago. But there you have it. There's what it looks like for now. I'll do more, and I'll share the final picture when it's completely done. And next week I'll try to work on something else. But what else is planned? So yes, tomorrow will be a collaboration. Yes. So tomorrow will be a collaboration. It will be the first digital collaboration that I've done, first digital time lapse that I've ever created as well. Very excited about it. It was so much fun to do. Thanks again for the congratulations and all that stuff. Really appreciate it. And yes, so this week, hopefully, I might put it off until next week. But for Patreon supporters, I'll be doing a live stream tutorial. Haven't decided what time I'm going to do it. I want to accommodate patrons. A lot of them are in the States, so I might be doing it later in the evening. But that will be a hair tutorial. Yes, again, this weekend I will be in London, so if my fans that are in London that would like to meet up and grab some tea or something, you can message me or email me, let me know. I'll be there from like Friday to Sunday. And what else? That's pretty much it. On Saturday, I will have also a painting video collaboration with a few artists here on YouTube. Valentine's Day thing while doing it. Yes, Annabelle, I hope that you can catch me live again. We'll try to be live next Monday. Just depends on what time I get in from London. I have to check my itinerary after I finish here. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys again in the next drawing journal. Take care. Peace.